thank you. I love the fire. Today there is slightly more fire here than normal.
Wamesema imewatoka.
Which is very good. I think I'll finish by first of all saying that the very essence of our democracy is that we can have divergent opinion. And someone can say his, and you say yours. At the end of the day, it's a competition of ideas. And that's why I always say the generation of Mwalimu Odo is doing much better than us in the younger generation. Because in that generation, I see them disagreeing and everyone can go home. But in our generation, when we disagree, we want to finish by now dismantling our faces. I think it's important that we understand that we must be tolerant and accommodative of each other's opinion, especially people on social media. I see young people bashing each other. You want to tear yourselves down because of political opinion. At the end of the day, and what even is disadvantages us even more is that most of the time when we want to tear ourselves down is more about the leaders we support more about than the point that we have to raise. If it becomes about the validity of the point, that when Alionya says she is in two-term and these are her reasons, instead of attacking her personality and attacking the person she supports, it would be more prudent when you can also just raise the value of your point on the other hand. I also want to tell you that we gave ourselves what I always describe as an activist constitution. And our activist constitution made it sound as though disagreement borders on the lines of intelligence. And that's why most of the time we want to be disagreeable to everything. Critique is good because critique is always based on an alternative. But disagreement that is not watertight is just that, is just hate. The hardest thing to actually do is to be in a position of responsibility. The burden of responsibility is the hardest burden you can ever acquire. And that's why before we go to 2022, on Jeff Koinange Live, there was two senators who were called the dynamic duo. They were called the best thing that will have ever happened to this country. Why? Because they were senators. They didn't have burden of responsibility. Today, those two senators, and I'm sure you know both of them, they are all governors. Do you guys see fruits and mangoes coming out of their county? Are you guys seeing all of us wishing that we are in that county? It is because of the burden of responsibility. When responsibility is at your doorstep and now you need to do something tangible, that is where you know that now leadership is not just a walk in the park. That's why it is so hard when now it moves closer to you. The easiest thing to do is to blame others. And that's why I've always said that I do not judge the potential of someone who can lead me by his potential to show me the problems of the other person. I don't judge the capacity of person who can lead me by his potential to know the problems of the country, because all of us know the problems of the country. I judge the capacity of a person who can lead me better by his ability to portray and show me the solutions that he has for the country. And after he does that, I'm able to also see that the track record that they have, is it predictable that I can trust that they can actually take me to the canon that they are promising me to take me to? So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, let us understand that when you are dealing with the burden of responsibility, it is the hardest. And so every time we are judging those ones who have a burden of responsibility, let us be able to be very analytical with them, and let us also be able to be very fair in that judgment. And let us not think those bashing those ones who have burden of responsibility are always the better alternative. The easiest person today to talk about how he is not working and all that will definitely be President William Ruto, because he's the one in office, he's the one with the burden of responsibility. But I've always argued and said, this is a gentleman who, with the entire burden of responsibility and with the height of animosity that has even come his way, he can be able to show you that this road did not exist when I was out of office. Today it exists. He can be able to show you and say this house in Bungoma that is called affordable housing was not there. Today it is there. He can be able to show you that government did not have something called an open university. Today they have an open university that is graduating its first cohort. He can be able to show you that when I came in, fertilizer was 7,500. Today it is 2,500. These are the real tangibles. He can be able to show you that I have been able to appoint the youngest, the highest number of young people into mainstream government, not just as shouters on the street, but into mainstream government. He can be able to show you that I've been able to bring disability people into a directorate and not anywhere else but in the office of the president. He can be able to show you the reality of the things that he has been able to do because he has the burden of responsibility. I'll always challenge you that the person who you consider your favorite person, when they had the burden of responsibility, what is it that you can credit them for that can make you trust them now and also trust them for the future? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mundala. A round of applause.